imagine thousands of people doing this in unison. Huh? Well,
What's the lyric?
I left thinking this is Oscar worthy. Without a doubt, without question, what do you think Freddie Mercury would say as he's leaving the film?
I hope he'd come out with something really sarcastic and say, "Oh, it was all right," you know.
Yeah.
I think you
Something
make like
quite
a
cutting.
cheeky, maybe like slightly dirty joke or something like that, just to like cut the tension of it or something.
I'd just like to find out where he was going to take us in London next.
Yeah.
Where's the after party?
Oh, that's a great. Well, how about this? I'm gonna one up you. What do you think his acceptance speech, if he were to win this Oscar, what do you think it'd sound like?
It's hard enough to play Freddie Mercury, let alone try to think about what he would say about this film. I think that the greatest blessing we had was having Brian May and Roger Taylor watch the film and appreciate it, and that's the greatest accolade you could ask for. Some of the people that knew him best have reached out, sent us emails. We're also there from the very beginning, giving us some advice and support mostly. And that's the thing we walk away from feeling, quite honestly, fulfilled by.
What would you say would be the most difficult characteristic to kind of, as an actor, accomplish in each of your characters? You wore that wig really well. Let me just tell you that.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Imitation is something you want to steer clear from, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, we were all adamant that although we wanted to capture the exterior things as accurately as possible, so, you know, the voice and the physicality and the gestures and all that kind of thing, we didn't just want it to be us mimicking those characters, but to try and find some humanity in them and to try and find the private side to them.
Any one thing, then it would have been okay, right? Like if it was just the accent or like just the playing of the instrument or just the movement, then it'd be like, okay, like, yeah, that's easy to handle and to focus on. It was all the things sort of coming together and having to do them all at once that I think presented the greatest challenge.
That was a great example. We did Live Aid, one of the greatest concerts of all time. And then at the end of the week that we shot that, we were in an office doing our first dialogue scene, which was one of the last scenes of the film where we're in Jim Beach's office talking about whether to do Live Aid or not. And we were like, oh God, we've actually got to talk now.
Yeah.
We're actors, I
forgot about that. I thought I was a rock star.
Did it ever feel like at some point you weren't an actor and instead you were like Queen, you were a performer on stage?
What helps, I think, is there are scenes where we start as the younger members of the band, so you get to see the evolution of their story and how they came to write these songs. You get to see the making of Bohemian Rhapsody, the making of We Will Rock You, and several other songs. And then that ended up evolving into us actually performing them on stage. So we had these kind of degrees of beginning, middle, and end that allowed for this evolution of owning it on stage to the point where we developed this great shorthand between one another, where we knew how to just balance one another out on stage. I mean, we knew when to cross in front of each other. You knew when to be very quiet and stand still in a moment.
Or when to shake those hips. You got a good little hip shake.
Yeah, you do have a good little hip shake.
I knew how to avoid hitting you with the bass.
Right.
Because the bass is so long. If Rami was coming around, I'd be like, "Ooh." Just like make sure that like I never smacked him like a Laurel and Hardy sketch or something.
Your subtle dance moves were really, really good.
Oh, thank you.
They weren't so subtle.
They were.
Not so subtle.
Not so
no.
subtle.
I'm just curious to know if there's anything from this set you guys decided, I'm going to take this, hopefully they don't notice it's missing, and I'm going to keep it as a keepsake.
I tried to steal one of those basses, but they sussed that out quick.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I brought it like slowly back to the trailer, and then like when I was getting everything removed, suddenly it was gone.
We all had a vinyl record sleeve made up of the greatest hits. So that really iconic picture of the black background with all four of the band members. And we had that kind of made up with our faces. So that's something we've all got.
Yeah.
That's all I managed to steal.
Not many people know, but Freddie Mercury actually played guitar. Not as well as Brian May, of course, but in Crazy Little Thing Called Love, there's a guitar that features in Live Aid. And I may or may not have that.
Okay, I won't tell anybody. Yeah, I was actually hoping you were going to say that you have his teeth.
I have his teeth, and I did do something in the spirit of Freddie. I did something very ostentatious, and I had them cast in gold. Something I never ever thought I would do.
What, I mean, where are you going to put that in your house?
He still puts them in his mouth.
Yeah,
Okay,
I sleep with them every night. Yeah.
Wow. They're my
I think
teeth
one day.
gone.
I think one day I'm gonna try to auction them off for charity, which would be, I think, a cool thing. If the movie works.
I mean, I'm not a part of the Academy, but the movie is definitely going to work. In fact, Queen is a part of my life soundtrack. My go-to when I need to relieve stress is Bohemian Rhapsody at the top of my lungs, driving my car across Texas. So do you have that go-to Queen song that just speaks to you?
I actually had a friend of mine sent me a video this morning of them in a car on the way back from work, and Bohemian Rhapsody came on the radio, and it's a video of them all headbanging and all that kind of thing. I think we're going to have that a lot now, from friends just thinking we're Queen. It's
You
like,
can probably anticipate that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well, we had a great moment. Me, Gwen, and Ben. Rami was doing something more important than us, I think. But the three of us were in the car together in LA right after we finished shooting, and Somebody to Love came on the radio. And we just all like rolled the windows down through like the Hollywood Hills. We're just singing it at the top of our lungs. So that was probably the best post-shooting Queen moment.
And for all of us, I think that's one of our favorite songs.
Yeah.
Somebody to Love is such an amazing song.
Yeah, I think when you watch this film, you'll hear so many great songs that many people will stop and go, "Oh yeah, that's a Queen song." And our entire score for the film is 95% Queen songs. So I think every song will have different meaning to everybody, but there's a very special moment where you hear "Don't Stop Me Now," and I think it'll make you get up and feel really good about life, and hopefully it won't stop any of us leaving that theater.
Oh, it gave me chills. Ben, thank you so much for giving me a little part of Queen that I didn't get to experience. I have some friends who, they say, "Oh, we've lived through this." Well, I didn't get to, and so I kind of feel like you gave that to me yesterday whenever I left the movie.
Thank you. Yeah,
So,
I hope a lot of people feel that way.
thank you for your time
Fresh new
today.
taste of Queen. Thank you.
Thanks.